Hey everybody, it's Jim with Triple J Bricks. Welcome back to another video. I did not get a video out this past weekend, which I was hoping to do. You're going to be seeing this on Tuesday or Wednesday. What is today? Today's the 5th, and you'll probably be seeing this. It's Monday the 5th of May, and you'll probably be seeing this on Tuesday or Wednesday. Hopefully I can get this edited and uploaded because I felt really bad that I didn't get a video out. And but it has been kind of crazy. Like we had family in town this past weekend to celebrate my daughter's birthday. She's turning 2 officially tomorrow, and it was really nice. It was really great to have family in town. But with that, plus this past week, not really getting a lot of time down here to work on stuff, at least in a way that felt... I've been working on... Well, I'll be showing you. I'm taking this opportunity to sort of do an update video. I don't think I did one in April. I usually do them almost every month, but I don't think I did one in April. So we're going to take this opportunity to do a little update video where I'm just going to kind of go through and talk about some things that we've been working on. I'm going to show you some things that I've been working on, and then there's a couple things that I just want to talk about that I've experienced since the beginning of yard sale season. And yeah, so we're just going to do a little studio update. So let's just dive into it. This order is going out to Kelly for $23.26. Bunch of mostly Ninjago stuff. Just a smattering of things. So, thank you so much, Kelly. It's on its way. $20.89 going out to Justin. Thank you, Justin. $30.05 going out to Ricky. Ricky is a viewer of the channel as well, so thank you, Ricky. And $29.17 going out to Brian. Thank you, fellas, for the orders. I appreciate it. This is going out to Toby. Toby is all in, $14.50. Some plain nougat heads, and a couple Star Wars torsos, and a Ninja wrap. Thank you, Toby. This is going out to Jantry for $5.63. Cleared me out of a bunch of Technic pins, too. Not cleared me out. I still have tons of these left, but really great to see 50-some... Technic pins going out the door. That's very cool. You don't sell pins very often. But yeah, thanks, Jantry. First thing, this is another haul that is currently being processed. I'm getting stuff into bags. There will be a future video about this, but I guess this is sort of a sneak peek because I have been filming and kind of working on some stuff. Some of this stuff I won't show you yet, but yeah, this has just all been kind of sitting here. This is all cleaned and dried and just kind of ready to be processed, but I just haven't gone through all of it. Here's the minifig specialty parts, sticker pieces, stuff like that. I've been dragging my feet. Again, it has been not easy to get down here this past week. My daughter has been going through some growing pains a little bit, and that has just been a little tough for her and for us. You know, she's a toddler. She's toddling. She's doing all the normal stuff, but you know, sometimes it's a little bit sleep depriving, and sometimes by the time I get down here in the evening, I'm pretty exhausted, and so I, you know, just don't get a whole lot done, basically. Or there's some days I just don't get down here at all, ultimately. But anyway, this needs to get worked on. I'm getting close. There was a lot more of this. I'm getting close to it because down here's, yeah, bricks and plates and all that stuff. So I'll be going through all of this and getting a lot of it into the store and getting some of it into my inventory. But I've been doing some stuff. This is actually the bin that I got from the Newport haul, my last large minifigure haul. And I am repurposing it here in the studio, so I kind of slid the acro mills over a little bit. And this is kind of hanging off, but it's totally fine. There's there's a little bit of a gap here, and there's room. So I'm actually using this to store Star Wars, Ninjago, like superhero, CMF stuff. All of these are minifigs. So those are all getting stored in there, and the other minifigs are getting stored in back in here. But and then this, I picked this up at a yard sale. Actually, yard sale. There was a huge yard sale this past weekend, and I got this like organizer for $3. $3. One of these is missing, like the clip was broken off, but the other one works just fine, so it's totally okay. But yeah, these just slide out, and there's not a lot of dividers in here. I've cleaned these all out and washed it all and stuff like that, but I haven't gotten any parts in here yet. But I'm totally going to be using this for the Bricklink store. I think that's a pretty sweet score. I'm pretty happy about that. And it sits up here on the Acromills really nicely. Like it kind of like locks into the back somehow. So for $3, yeah, $3 for storage, I will take it. Other awesome thing at the last yard sale I went to was, and I posted about this in the community post, but I picked up a box of 250 bubble mailers that are almost the exact same size bubble mailer that I use to ship my Bricklink orders, or most of my Bricklink orders. It was sitting in an alley. So my wife and I went to this giant community yard sale that's like kind of in a neighborhood very close to us, like walking distance to us. And they have it every year on a Saturday. I think what ends up happening is because so many people know about this and they have it every year, I think people come from all over to come to these yard sales. And so the neighbors of the people who are running yard sales who don't want to run a yard sale themselves, I think they use the opportunity to sort of leave things outside of their house for free. And because they know that there's going to be so much foot traffic that someone will take it, which makes sense. And so we saw a little bit of that, like people just sort of leaving free stuff, like with free signs on it, like outside of their garage. And we're walking down the alley, and my wife looks over and she goes, "Does that say bubble mailers on it?" It was just a cardboard box. And I go, "Yeah." And I walk over to it and I open it up, and there's brand new, all these mailers, and it had a big free thing on it, along with some other stuff around there. I just took it. I mean, it probably is over $50 of free mailers. And not only do I use it for my Bricklink orders, but my wife uses the same size mailers for her little side hustle business as well. So I was so stoked about the score because, you know, that's stuff I don't have to pay for. Like now that's free mailers. Like that's awesome. That's super cool. So I was really excited about that. I don't know if the entire box is full, but I don't know if all 250 are there, but it said that on the side. But anyway, I was super stoked about that. Back to the Acromills real quick. We're going to be jumping around here as I have a few things that I wanted to talk about, but I'm kind of jumping around as I just sort of go through the studio and talk about like some updates. But this Acromills unit is slowly getting paired out. You can see I have some empty drawers now. This was, and still is, sort of my personal collection, but I am slowly morphing it, and ultimately it will become a Bricklink store asset. Because what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take these out. I think what I'm doing is I'm taking the drawers of things like, there was a bunch of city accessories. I cleared those out of this drawer, and those are all into the store, the Bricklink store, and they're stored in a different area, in a different way. They're actually up here in these storage units. So I have 3 of these currently full, but I have some more of those to fill. But essentially all of that will, yeah. So there's still a few left of these drawers to kind of upload and go through, but a lot of this is going to end up because like the castle shields, spears, you know, swords, anything I'm going to use in like mocks in the future and or just castle or pirate stuff that I want to hold on to, I'm going to get out of these drawers and into somewhere else so I can use this as more as a Bricklink store asset. Yeah, so that's sort of a constant in progress type of thing. It's not like my top priority. It just sort of happens over time. Like once in a while, if I just kind of feel like, you know, maybe not doing some of this stuff, but just grab a drawer and sort, you know, pieces out and all that kind of stuff. But because I have a place where I'm keeping all of the minifigs that I want to hold on to, and right now I'm just not accessing these drawers that much. So this bottom drawer here, this is the bottom drawer of the left side of this unit. This is currently sort of my keep drawer. Pieces that I think I'm going to use for mocks, pirate flags. These are the tiles from Rivendell. Other flags. Random parts I think I'll use in mocks. Fence elements I think I'll use in mocks. Storage containers that will be in places. This is all overflow storage of parts, most of which I got off the pab wall. Yeah, just most of this is pab wall stuff and or just bits and bobs that I took from the Acromills units and are keeping in here. I also have decided to keep some like Technic parts, like small pins and things, just to complete sets if I need them, because it's kind of a pain to go into my store to steal just like a Technic pin. Like, yeah, so I'm just kind of keeping some of that down here. But I would like, this drawer is just, I'd like to not use this drawer for this. And what I would like to do is kind of use these top two drawers. So this drawer is like half Bricklink store, half not. I've been using these for the Bricklink store, and I want to use more of that for small parts, like I'm using here. But I want to get rid of, I don't know what to do with these. These are currently all personal inventory. But I would like to get some of this stuff in the store. But I've kind of been dragging my feet on it because they're studs and I don't know. They're just such small pieces and I don't know. I just need to do it. But, you know, a lot of it's very organized. I just kind of need to do it. But anyway, I would like to morph these top two drawers. As you can see, this one's currently labeled. And what I do is move all of this stuff for now up into the second drawer. And then so the top two drawers would be Bricklink store, and then slowly figure out a way or a place for this that isn't here. Yeah, because the other drawer outside, you know, because all of these drawers are, you know, this is all, it's getting actually to be quite a mess in some of these drawers because I'm holding on to some things that are just getting thrown in here. I mean, it's organized still pretty well, but the threads are coming loose a little bit. But yeah, so, you know, and then this bottom drawer here, this is all castle parts, old rock pieces, panels, doors. These are things also I hope to use in mocks one day. Yeah, it's not really a lot of place for that stuff, but I am currently 3 drawers, or not drawers, 3 storage containers full of minifigure parts, and I have started number 4 over here. And I still have one left. That's all personal parts down there that I can turn into, but I've just bled into 4. These are some weapons and things. Yeah. So all of this stuff has been just kind of been working on and expanding as the store's been expanding. I have the most parts in the store currently. Here, I'll show you. Okay, well, I was over 7,000 unique lots, but I had an order this morning come through and it dipped me below. I was like at 7,002 unique parts. Now I'm at 6,988. Still over 30,000 parts and a total value of $6,673. So the store's doing well. There's a ton of stuff in here, but I have so much more to add to it. So much more that needs to get added to it, but it's all about maximizing the space. But ultimately, it's about expanding the space that we have to work with. And some of these drawers have actually been getting emptied. Not emptied, but less in some of these drawers. But I started to fill up this drawer a little bit, but we still have 2 completely empty drawers. And then half of this drawer yet to fill with some parts, but which I'm very happy about. But I'm trying to be very cognizant of how that all works because, I'm just trying to make it efficient. I'm trying to make it efficient. So I have space to work with yet, which is great. But I'm also trying to be aware of how do I best maximize that space, kind of moving forward, and what kind of parts do I want to be putting into the store, making sure there's variety, that kind of thing. I'm still very, very much enjoying it. I just feel like I haven't had a lot of time to dedicate to it that was meaningful, because I still have to work on, like, so I live stream. Essentially, I'm like part-time dad, part-time Twitch streamer, part-time Bricklink seller. And there's stuff that needs to happen for the live stream during, non-streaming hours, behind the scenes stuff that needs to get worked on, all that kind of stuff. So I gotta balance kind of all of that, and sometimes that balance just gets off, and right now I feel like it's been off a little bit, but that's okay. It's a pendulum, and it will never be perfectly balanced. You just kind of have to go with it. One of the things I wanted to talk about regarding yard sale season, so I've probably been to about 15 or 20 sales, maybe a little more, since sort of the beginning of the season. I think the first one I went to was like early April. It was still pretty cold here in Minnesota, but they were out. People were out, and I have not found any Lego. Well, that's not true. I have found Lego, but it's always been quite expensive. So it really kind of hit me, and it was something that I wanted to talk about in a video. This past weekend, I mentioned the large community yard sales, and every year when they have it, they create a list of all of the houses participating, and then all the houses submit sort of what they're going to be selling, which is really, really nice. They have it in a really nice list. They have it all, sort of numerical order, so you can kind of go boom, boom, boom down to each house. And every year, of course, I look for Lego. And there were two of the houses specifically said that they had Lego. And I went to the first one bright and early in the morning. It said it started at 8. Some of the houses opened up a little bit later, started at 8. I went, super early, 10 to 8, and they had their table set up, but they had a bunch of sets, and they had some like sealed sets. Like the guy had bought maybe some like multiples of things, and he was selling it for essentially more than Bricklink pricing, which was disappointing. Especially when you're going to a yard sale, I understand, like, go get what you can for it, but it
it's not in the spirit, I guess, of what a yard sale is, right? And so, anyway, he was selling a bunch of sealed stuff, so I just wasn't interested in paying, full price for things like that, right? And then the second one didn't open until 10, so I was just going around to some other ones, and I found a couple other ones that also had Lego, but they, again, had bagged sets that they were selling for, near Bricklink pricing. And so it's just not what I'm looking for, right? That's just not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, just someone selling a box, getting rid of it, throwing $30 bucks, $50 on it, right? Whatever. Just trying to get it out of the house so I can, and I'm happy to sift through it. I'm happy to sift through all of the Nerf darts and all that kind of stuff, right? Just trying to unload some things. But one, it's super easy to look up stuff, right? It's super easy to, look up prices for things. What is something worth? It's just so easy to do. I think people are a little bit more aware of the value of Lego now in general. And because I don't know if it's more popular now, but I think with all of the licensing of different things like Fortnite and, Disney and the Marvel and all that kind of stuff has just become more prevalent in the last 5-10 years, I feel like, that it's just hitting probably more homes and more households than it normally would. And so I think there's just a little bit more of an awareness of the value of Lego. That could be one of the things. And so when people bring it up at a garage sale, they're like, well, should we be selling this at a garage sale? I feel like the better places for me to still find Lego scores is Facebook Marketplace. I've had way more success this year finding great deals on Facebook Marketplace of people who necessarily don't want to run a garage sale, but just want to get rid of stuff. And I think, and obviously it depends. This has just been my experience, right? Like, I am a small sample size of people doing it. I'm just telling you what I've been experiencing and maybe why I think that's happening. That's it. Maybe you're having a different experience. Maybe you're having tons of great garage sale finds and you're scoring tons of Lego, and that's great. That's awesome. But I'm not, and I feel like even in only the couple years that in the few years I've been doing this, that's sort of been the case. I've really only found yard sale Lego that I felt was worth buying just a handful of times, only really once last year. I don't know. It's just interesting, and I don't know. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. But anyway, the second yard sale that I went to, that one started at 10. So I get there, 10 to, I'm the first one there, but like right behind me, there are two other couples also looking for Lego. And we're all standing. This woman, her son had not gotten up yet, and he was supposed to help her with the garage sales. But I went up to her and I was like, hey, I saw you had Lego. And she goes, oh yeah, let me go get that. And so she starts bringing out like bins of just sort of bulk pieces. And she goes, so we're going to be doing this by the ounce. I'm going to be selling Lego by the ounce. And I was like, I'm not interested in that. I have tons of bulk Lego to go through. I don't need to sit and, I don't know if she was going to bring out a scale or how she was going to do that. I don't know. But the other couples behind me were like, did she say how much she was going to be charging per ounce? They were all ravenous for Lego. I was like, no, she didn't. And I just left. I just wasn't interested in that. So yeah, it was just kind of a bummer Lego wise. I found some other scores for like the eBay store. And again, the best score for sure was the free bubble mailers. No question. I was actually more excited about that than probably finding Lego, honestly. I don't know. It wasn't a sexy score, but it's just rare that you find someone giving something away for free that you actually need and can use. That is so rare. Because most of the time, someone's giving away something for free, like at a yard sale or whatever, and you're like, yeah, I could probably use that. This was like, oh my gosh, I literally would be buying this. So, anyway, I was very excited about it, as you can tell. So I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling now, but that's sort of the update. I kind of wanted to just give you a little glimpse as to some of the things I've been thinking about, working through. I parted out the castle in the forest. Here you can actually see in the background one of the things that I'll be showing in a future video. But yeah, that's kind of the update. It's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments section what you're experiencing with yard sale things. Because I'm always just curious. How do the yard sale, garage sales, rummage sales, whatever you call it, how does it look in your area? How does it kind of feel? Pricing wise, types of stuff, that kind of thing. Yeah, let me know. I'm always curious about that. But everybody, thank you so much for watching this update. I really do appreciate it. I'm working through that haul, and hopefully I will get that process through and give you a little update on sort of what we got in it. And then we have so much more to do. So much more to do as we go. But thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But remember, until then, keep on building. Jim, out.